Hiya, Sean.
What the? Who said that? What the hell? Who are you?
Why, I'm Pennywise, the dancing clown.
Right. I'm talking to a clown in a sewer. Yeah, I've been drinking too much.
Don't go. Don't you want a balloon?
No. I really don't want a balloon from John Wayne Gacy.
What about this limited edition Hellraiser Blu-ray set?
Oh, hell yeah! Ah! Ow!
Are you okay?
Yeah, I just hit my hand on a Lego. I don't know why there's a random Lego in the middle of the street.
Ouchie. Well, here you go.
Oh. Thanks. Cool.
Enjoy that.
Yeah. You got it. Freaking weird-ass clown. It, from 1990, is a miniseries based off of the Stephen King novel by the same name, and it stars Jonathan Brandis, John Ritter, Harry Anderson, Seth Green, Annette O'Toole, with special guest star Tim Curry. I love, by the way, that he is credited as the special guest star in the opening credits. Like, this is a miniseries, not a long-running TV series, but that credit implies that it is, that Tim Curry is like the special guest of the day. Which makes no sense. It's just really so. I just find that really funny to me. And it is about a group of adults that, when they were children in small-town Derry, Maine, had to band together and fight off an evil force that turned into Pennywise the Clown. They defeated Pennywise, but 27 years later, Pennywise has reawakened. So now it's up to them to go back to Derry and defeat the clown once and for all. Now, full disclosure, I never actually finished the book. I got almost halfway through it, maybe around 600, 700 pages, so the whole book is 1,400, so around halfway. But I know enough of the book where I can at least make some comparisons. And I will say, one thing about the miniseries that I'd like to compliment it on, it does follow the structure pretty well and makes it work. The structure of the book is such where it basically goes back and forth between, in the book it's the 50s, and when they're children, and the adults are in the 80s. And it just flips back and forth like every other chapter, really. And the adults are like, they've all forgotten, all the ones who have left Derry, except for one, Mike, who's the only one that stayed. If you've never read the book or seen this before. It follows that structure pretty well to a T. Admittedly, doesn't get as much character development from the book as I would have liked, but it gets enough where you get the gist and you're able to really see the camaraderie with the kids. I will say right off the bat, the first half of the miniseries, because, you divide it into halves because they played over 2 nights, the first half, best part of the miniseries. It's definitely better with the kids than it is with the adults. The kids, honestly, they gel pretty well. They feel like they actually had an on-screen chemistry. My guess is behind the scenes they probably had fun together, and it comes across on screen. I don't know if that's the case, but usually you can tell, especially with kid actors, when it's like, they gel pretty well. And they do in this film pretty well. Jonathan Brandis, rest in peace to him, because he was a fantastic kid actor. I want to see more of his work, but just based on this alone, really, like, you really feel for him when he's, crying over his brother Georgie, and, really trying to deal with this and the death of his brother and being like, I want to go kill this thing that took my brother from me. Please help me. There's that great scene where he's begging his friends for help, and you feel it, man. Like, it does work. This movie does come off like a TV movie, for sure. It absolutely does. But there are moments where it elevates itself, like that, for instance, from just being your run-of-the-mill generic TV movie, like some of the other Stephen King miniseries felt like Langoliers. You want a good laugh, watch Langoliers. There's some funny-ass moments in that movie.
I lost $43 million And I did it deliberately! I did it deliberately!
Now, on the flip side, much like most people have said, when you get to the adult stuff, the adults are terrible. Some of them are passable, I guess, so maybe I shouldn't say they're all terrible across the board, but they come off definitely more like they're soap opera TV actors. Some of the lines are just so cringy, and not just the lines, but the delivery of the lines. They really come off like it's a TV movie. These kids, you can tell they were trying. Like, give them credit. Like, they tried, man. They made it work, actually. I care about the kids. But when you get to the adults, it's like, it suddenly starts becoming like a soap opera almost. And that's really sad, especially Annette O'Toole. Like, there's that scene where she's like, why does it hate? Why is it so mean? Oh. She doesn't do that, but she may as well have. That's the level of overacting she's at. Her and Ben and their whole, like, there are a couple scenes together, like, so cringy, the acting in those scenes. Bill with his stupid ponytail, whoever the hell played Bill. Terrible. Harry Anderson, I guess he's the best. And John Ritter, those are the best ones, really. The only thing that really holds this miniseries and makes it even really worth going back to at all is our special guest star, Tim Curry. Tim Curry, I don't know, I haven't looked up a lot about the behind the scenes features or read anything about it really. Maybe he read the book, maybe he didn't, but he honestly captures the character of Pennywise pretty well. First of all, he's described as he looks like Ronald McDonald. And if you see the new one, and I'm going to talk more when I get to talking about that one, can you really believe that kids would be drawn in by this clown? He's so freaking creepy looking. Even when he's not straight up attacking a child, when he's trying to lure Georgie in, or in the new one when he's trying to lure kids in, it's like, I don't know if I'd buy it as well as Tim Curry. Because, you know, just for the simple thought of, not that Tim Curry's scarier, Bill Skarsgård is scarier. I guess there's no way not to kind of compare in this review. But Tim Curry at least captures that, like, warmth of Pennywise, the fake warmth, you know, of the stranger that tries to lure kids in, but, you know, the kid is so young that they're easily lured in and by the, quote, nice stranger. And that's why it's creepy, you know. You can believe it more, basically, that Pennywise would get kids to come with him in the Tim Curry version than in the Bill Skarsgård version, where you're like, I don't know, even a 5-year-old should be shit scared of this. Like, for example, the famous sewer scene with Georgie and Pennywise in the sewer, that's a legitimately eerie scene in this movie. Not only is the score actually not that bad in this movie, it's kind of creepy and has an undertone of, like, you know, dark past. I don't know, that's what I think of when I hear the music. You know, it's like one of those pretty decent Stephen King scores that were coming out around that time in Stephen King movies, like Pet Sematary, etc. Like, people, there are creeps out there who act like this to lure kids in. Especially back then, that was like all over the news in the 80s with, you know, the whole milk carton thing. And I say this as someone who did not live in the 80s, but I know how to use Google. Like, I am fully aware of how to use the internet and research, you know, history of the world. But anyways, it really does capture that creepy, like, stranger danger vibe really well that the book captured. And so I'm sort of torn between the two, and I'll get more talking about that in the next one, why I like Bill Skarsgård better, but this is a good indication of, like, he does at least capture that side of Pennywise really well. I mean, I will say, this miniseries seems to work for people, mostly on nostalgia. It's people who grew up with it, saw it when they were, like, 6, 7, 8 years old, and, you know, Pennywise creeped them out back then. I saw this when I was in high school, so by then, I was too old to be creeped out by Pennywise. But I still enjoyed it and found it mildly eerie at times. And certainly some of it still holds up. I would say a lot of the stuff with the kids, like the scary scenes with the kids, like the teenage werewolf, as silly as that is, I could see that being scary to a kid. You know, even the mummy, even though the resolution of that scene is really stupid, where Stan just holds out his bird book and starts naming birds' names to fend off the monster, and it friggin' works. Okay, if a serial killer ever comes after me, I'll start saying birds' names. Just see if that works. Like, Well, I don't know. Maybe it's just really, it's hokey and stupid. I'm pretty sure that's in the book, if I remember right. So that is a Stephen King. That does sound like a Stephen King thing to write, for sure. He had some weird ideas at times. It's all the coke he did, I bet. But then some of the other scary scenes with kids, like the scene with Bill when he's looking through that picture book of his family with pictures of Georgie, and it just starts bleeding. Like, that is creepy. So there are moments like that where either I find him kind of creepy now, or at the very least, I can understand why they'd be creepy to a kid. That being said, the stuff with the adults, there ain't nothing creepy there. At all. And part of it is a little silly. Not that adults can't get scared or it looks weird. I'm not saying that. He's like this clown that's holding balloons and saying you're gonna float, and like, this reason Pennywise gets silly in the second half, which hurts this. But it's hard to believe, especially in the scene where Richie Tozier, Harry Anderson Richie, goes to the library when he gets back to Derry. Pennywise shows up, and it's just Tim Curry making jokes, which I get the idea was because he's making fun of Richie because Richie's a comedian. I get it, what they were trying to do. But it ends up coming off as funny, not because the jokes are clever, because it's just so damn silly that, like, we're supposed to believe Richie is scared of this. He's, like, making stupid childish jokes like, "Do you like Prince Albert in a can? You do? Well, you better let the poor guy out. What? It's hard for me to take that seriously when he's dumping balloons on people. And yeah, they're bursting, and there's blood in the balloons when they, blow up. But still, it's silly. At least when he's with the kids, he's honestly making less jokes. He's more just being creepy. And yeah, there's a joke here or there, like, beep, beep, Richie, but fine. One from the book. There's less of it in there. It is more like, you're gonna float too, and then like showing his creepy teeth and everything. It's like, alright, I could see that being creepy. But, again, but with the adults, it's just like, this just gets too damn silly. Overall, this miniseries is fine. It gets the beats it needs to. It gets the main gist of the novel. I mean, the thing is a 1,400-page novel. There's no way they could have done it on a TV movie budget. They did the best they could. They wisely excised stuff like the turtle, although, well, I'll get to the theatrical version, because I wish they put that into the theatrical movies. They could have afforded doing something like that, especially in that second one, but I'll get to that. But here, that's fine. Excise what you have to. I wish they changed the ending, which, I guess, spoiler warning for anyone who cares. The final form of it is a giant spider, and the giant spider looks like some of the worst stop motion ever. Like, put it this way. I don't like spiders. Spiders creep me out. So if spiders in a horror movie, especially like giant spiders, like eating people and whatever, that's already going to unsettle me, even though if it's fictional. Like, just based on, like, the maybe more mild level of arachnophobia that I have. But I'm laughing at that. That's not a good sign. That someone who doesn't even like spiders, like they creep them out, is laughing their ass off at that scene. And then, of course, the very ending, which I'm not even going to get into it because I want to wrap this review up, but what the hell is that bike ride at the end of the miniseries? If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. The most hokey, cheesy BS I've ever seen in a while. But here's the thing. I'm going to give it a pass. I'm going to say, if you like the book, especially if you saw this as a kid, you might get some enjoyment out of it. I get some enjoyment out of it still because I like the kids. I like Tim Curry a lot. Tim Curry does work as Pennywise pretty well. There are things in this miniseries to like. It's not this abomination. It's not god-awful. It is outdated now because of the new theatrical films. But if you're going to go back, I don't see why not. I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 stars. It's a pass, but you know what? I think it has enough going for it to earn it. So that's my review of the miniseries. Hope you enjoyed that. Yes, it's been a while since I've reviewed a movie. I'm going to try to get more reviews out. There's some stuff coming. I should probably do a channel update to explain why it's been so long. But for now, I'm going to get the reviews out of the other 2 It movies. So stay tuned and like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Okay, and action. Ow! Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Hi. I'm just filming a little skit for a YouTube video. That's all. Hi. I am doing a YouTube video. I'm trying to finish it. Yeah, I'm doing a skit for YouTube. That's all. I'm not doing anything weird. Yeah. Yeah. Jesus Christ. This is all getting saved to Shane's computer, isn't it?